Help.
Engaged.
Welcome viewers. In this episode, we will be taking a quick look at the PC version of the game, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. The purpose of this video is to not only show you what this game looks like at maximum graphical settings, but also what kind of gameplay to expect if you decide to play this game. As you can see, there are a lot of logos at the beginning, which you cannot skip unless you add a command line parameter to the launcher. Oh dear, music. Since I don't want to get a potential copyright claim on this video, I think I'll switch it off, but you cannot do that unless you choose a game save slot first. Until I actually get to the audio options, I think I will turn the music way down via editing, just to be on the safe side. That's better, although it is still a risk just to have it playing in the background, even if it is at a lower volume now. In case you didn't know, over the last few weeks, YouTube have been extra strict over copyrighted material, especially music, and have started scanning even partnered channels for possible violations. But that is probably best explained in a separate video, and there are plenty out there at the moment. Anyway, as you can see here, all graphical options are at maximum. I normally switch anti-aliasing off, but it hardly affected the frame rate, even when recording with FRAPs, so I left it on. Because apparently, the slicing effects mechanics can be pretty resource intensive and can reduce performance. But I do have a pretty powerful PC, so that's probably why I'm not getting much lag. So we have finally reached the audio options section, and this slider is going all the way to the left. A shame really, because I would rather have some background music rather than none. But such is the state of YouTube today. I am showing you all the settings and menus, because I want you to be able to compare this PC version with the console versions. According to an article I read, for the PC version only, you should be able to view all cutscenes and movies from the main menu, but that option does not seem to be here. Perhaps it will appear later. VR missions are new too, and that option is here. The first two VR missions are actually the tutorials you can play upon starting a new game, so we might as well play them from there. The menu sound effects are almost identical to other Metal Gear games, which is a relief. I say this because this game was not developed by Kojima Productions, the guys responsible for Metal Gear Solid 4, but instead by a different company called Platinum Games. But Kojima Productions still produced it though. I always play at normal difficulty when I play a game for the first time. It's how a game is meant to be experienced, after all. And if a game is not too annoying, I will typically play at the hardest difficulty on a subsequent playthrough.
Warm up, shall we? Check the Soliton radar on the upper right and head to the point marked on the display. You can jump over obstacles, but the ninja run will get you across them more quickly and easily.
VR missions are a good way to practice basic moves, which is why I am showing this part. This isn't a walkthrough by the way, I'm just showing you various aspects of this game.
You can also attack while in motion with the ninja run, you know. Swinging your blade while dashing, for example, or striking your foes with a sliding attack.
This first mission is just practicing on dummies, so let's skip forward a little. In the following mission, we can practice on real foes.
Now then, let's run a basic battle diagnostic. Try and neutralize all the enemies that appear. String light and strong hits together to perform combination attacks. Combat is not all offense, however. You also need to protect yourself. First, follow the direction of the enemy's attack. Parry those attacks by executing light attacks of your own in the same direction. This is how you parry. It is the keystone of your defense.
I found the instructions for parrying a little confusing. It says to move the stick in the direction of the enemy's attack, which would mean pushing backwards. But no, it turns out that you have to push towards the enemy.
Draw foes in as close as possible. Watch your foes' movements carefully.
It just seems more natural to move backwards, I suppose, but then again, I'm used to games like Tekken, where you do have to move backwards to parry. Okay, now onto the actual game. I will not be showing any movies or cutscenes, not in this episode, at least. But I will summarize what's happening. Radeon is essentially a bodyguard, protecting some African prime minister, when all of a sudden, they are attacked by cyborgs. And this is the first fight.
Take self-repair units from your foes to replenish your own supply.
So this game does look pretty good, but it's not really pushing any boundaries. A lot of the textures are very basic, and I don't think they improved them that much in the PC version. The fight system is okay, but not as good as what you would find in a game like Batman: Arkham Origins. Further on in the story, you will acquire a few more skills, but more on that in a moment. Anyway, once we are done with this fight, we will have to face, yes, a Metal Gear Ray.
What? They have a Metal Gear? Here? Right, take out that UMP and get after it. Use blade mode to damage its armor. Catch that missile before it blows. Use your ninja run to deflect those shots.
The first real boss fight, which was easy enough if you just run in a diagonal pattern and try to stay close to the Metal Gear Ray.
Stop that blade! Yes! Wait it wide open! Хорошо! Very good! But do not rest easy just yet, huh?
Eventually. Yes, we have to fight the same damn boss again.
That damn UG! It still works?
And what the hell is up with this type of boss fight, where you have to find a giant enemy, while on some balcony, or rooftop? I hate these kinds of fights. Game developers, please stop making them. They just seem boring, repetitive, and last way too long. To be honest, I nearly turned the game off at this point, but instead, I paused it, and returned to it after a while. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to give an honest opinion for this video. Anyway, let's skip forward to the next level, where Radeon acquires some new moves.
Raiden, you landed safely, da? First, head inland. The waypoint is marked on your Soliton radar. Contact us on codec if you have questions.
Just like the other Metal Gear games, you can talk to the same person repeatedly, via the codec, which I thought was a nice touch, and again, a bit of a relief, since it helps keep the connection and feel to the other Metal Gear games.
Control, it's Raiden. I'm on the ground.
Copy, Raiden. Glad to hear it. Entering on foot was the right move. That craft isn't equipped with stealth camo.
Let's take a look at some of the new moves. We have a radar mode, which once activated, stays active until you ninja run or attack. You can also sneak up behind enemies. Actually, no, you cannot sneak in this game.
What are you doing here?
You just approach enemies from behind, or from above, where you will be able to perform a stealth takedown, but beware, nearby enemies might hear, as was the case here.
Self-defense, right?
He's here!
He is scared to death, Raiden. Let him know he is safe.
Thank you. I will not forget this.
So overall, I think this game is good, and I will probably end up playing it, but I think you have to be in the right frame of mind to play this type of game. And by that, I mean a lot of button bashing, and essentially running around like a headless chicken, getting into regular fights, as well as the occasional boss fight. It's a shame they didn't have a proper stealth engine, where you could take cover behind objects, and really sneak up behind enemies silently, rather than just running up behind them, where they don't seem to notice your footsteps. They will notice though, if you ninja run, but not the normal run. Anyway, from what I have played so far, this appears to be a standard action game, and not a sneak 'em up, like the other games. But I already knew that, before I bought the game. And now you do too, if you didn't know before. One final thing I forgot to mention. The story takes place 4 years after the events of Metal Gear Solid 4, so this is not some kind of prequel which tells Raiden Cyborg origin story. Anyway, that's all we have time for, so I hope you found this video helpful. This is Blade, and it's goodbye from me.